So we're getting more holistic already by combining this idea of it's not just about compliance. We can't sit back and fold our arms and say we're content now that we're compliant. It's not just about security either. So let's take a couple minutes and drill in on some of these technical countermeasures that do exactly what I was referring to earlier and help our incidents remain incidents and not become breaches. So we've already talked about this minimal collection idea, but there's a complementary part of the data lifecycle around retention. And so data that you collect ultimately becomes data that you retain until you make some kind of a conscious decision to either archive it off or delete it from your systems. And so there's this classical perspective on this where, I've been doing this a long time. And so us older folks think about it from the perspective of it's really expensive to collect data. Disk space used to be quite a bit more expensive. And so people were driven towards minimization for reasons of cost. But in a more modern perspective, the difference now, since disk space is commoditized and literally the way we even think about storage costs, it just got totally rebooted when Gmail came along and said, look, just keep all your data. You get a gigabyte of inbox space and we're not going to charge you for it. That really actually changed our mindsets in a compelling way. So now we're in this world where we're keeping a lot more things for a lot longer than we should in most cases. And this consciousness of the impact of that action on our exposure to breach is what this countermeasure is really all about. So when storage is so cheap, what are we doing to consciously mitigate the impact? How do we help you automate the things that you retain in ways that help contain your exposure?